next year. What percentage increase?
Good evening. What we have allowed Eskom is for them to recover the 7.8 billion rand that was due to them in the regulatory account for the period starting from 2010 to 2012. And we still are to determine what exactly that price increase would be.
Can you give us a benchmark? You must have some figure in your head, because you do know that shortfall is exactly 7.8 billion rand.
The shortfall, we know it's exactly 7.8 billion rand, and the reason I am not saying that it will be this amount, and what I can do for the sake of clarity is to indicate that it will be between 2 and 5%, and the reason I'm not saying it's this exact amount is that we still have to calculate and ensure that we allow an increase that is affordable. At the same time, we allow an increase that would still make Eskom to be sustainable.
So that means for consumers between about 10% and about 13% that they're looking at an increase next April.
Yes, that's what it is.
Tembani, does this affect next year only, or is it an increase that then stands for coming years as well?
The increase we had determined, it will depend on how we then implement the 7.8 billion rand. So for now, if we implement it all in 1 year, it will affect next year. But if we spread it over the 3 years that are remaining in the multi-year price determination, it would affect the other years.
Tembani, can you give me some idea of what we're in for in coming years? Because Eskom has repeatedly said that you haven't given it the increases it asked for. It now has a facility whereby it can make back some of the shortfall. Yesterday it said it faces 225 billion rand shortfall. So just in my mind, that could mean astronomical hikes for consumers in coming years.
I think in the statement that they've issued, they've clearly indicated that they are not looking for those increases only to cover the 225 billion rand only from the tariff. They are looking at other options, and so our view and our understanding is that there would be a part that comes from the tariff and a part that comes from other options that they would be looking at.
It also raises the question, why are you regulating Eskom and saying, which was cheered by consumers, saying we will only give you 8% when they do have this facility to make up a lot that's lost?
No, but the facility is looking at what Eskom has lost, because what we do in the determination, we forecast a lot of things. For instance, we forecasted that with the aid of Eskom that so much electricity will be sold, and that did not happen. So that changes things. And in the same way as consumers, when Eskom had higher sales forecast, the price was reduced from 25 to 16.
Tembani, I have to ask, because Eskom has really been saying this for a long time, that it hasn't been given the hikes that it needed. Have you perhaps, as Nersa, been irresponsible in the past by not giving Eskom better increases, and also by perhaps raising the expectations of consumers that there will be caps when in fact those caps don't stand, because there is this mechanism to make back the shortfall?
We have not been irresponsible. We had given Eskom a 25% increase based on the information that they had provided us, and they implemented that for 2 years. In the third year, they came back and reduced it by 10%, which was then down to 16%. When they applied, we analyzed the application, and we have given them the 8% because we believe that is what is due to them.
I suppose it's difficult, and I guess my final question is, do you believe you've done the best for consumers who are really facing incredible hikes across the economy, and for the economy, because electricity prices push up in inflation, and we're seeing the fallout of that right now? Have you really done your best to balance all these pressures, including the pressure coming from Eskom?
Yes, I believe that in the fair and delicate balance that we have to have between the interests of stakeholders and customers and the interest of the entity, we have done a very good balancing, and we will continue to look at the interests of all the affected parties.
All right, thank you very much for your time this evening. That was Tembani Bukula from Nersa, our energy regulator, confirming there that the hikes we're looking at next year could be up to 13% rather than the 8%, but nothing confirmed yet. Let's take a quick look at what's coming out on social media. Adrian, with the current state of Eskom and municipalities, investing to take your home off-grid seems like a wise option. I think many people are going that route. Random posts, Eskom has been given permission to raise electricity. Everything is growing except for your salary. Not quite right, because the Reserve Bank has raised concerns about salary increases well above inflation as well. Mduduzi, the current Eskom crisis, squarely located in the failure to plan for the future Eskom, is critical in the growth of the economy.